Hey everybody, guess what? Your final is now posted. You have made it to the end. Congratulations. And please watch this video because it's going to be everything you need to rock the exam. Okay? So it is posted now. That means you have over a week to take your time on it and do the exam. Now, I designed this final exam to eliminate all test anxiety. So how many of you, when you sit and you hear exam, it brings up emotions, right? How many of you, when you had a class and you sat in a classroom and they start passing out blue books and Scantrons and you're looking at the clock and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I have 2 hours to do this whole exam. Even just thinking of that, for many of us, including myself, that brings a lot of anxiety. This is completely not that way. So you have over a week to sit down and to look at the questions and to start thinking about them and start working on them and do it bit by bit each day. And when it's due on Thursday, you'll be able to just turn it in. Now, what I do not expect, in fact, please do not do, is do not do it in one sitting. Do not look at this Thursday morning or Wednesday and start working on it then. Please don't do that. So start working on it now. Give yourself an hour to just look at it today. And then from there tomorrow, you can start working on a question. One thing I would really recommend, and this is please watch this video and I hope you get this, is don't do it on Canvas, okay? When you have those long questions, you're going to have keywords, you're going to have focus questions, okay? Some of those questions are going to be long and some of them are going to be short. Don't do them there. Cut and paste the questions and do it on a Word document. That way, if Canvas messes up for any reason and it doesn't save, you will have it in your Word document. You can cut and paste it from your Word document back onto the exam and turn it all in at once, right? So please do that. Please look at the question, look at the focus questions, look at the keyword options, and then be able to put that in your own document and work on it there. All right, so make sure you're going to have options. You're going to have choices. So every question and every focus question and every keyword is going to have an option. You're going to have 2, maybe 3 different choices. You have to pick one of each of those questions, right? So let's say you have to do 5, can't remember on top of my head how many, but let's say you have to do 5 keywords. Each of those keywords will be a choice between one or another one. The idea of that is for you to pick one that is the best for you. What will give you the most impact, the most information that you can. So you pick one of those. Now, there's 2 parts to all of the keywords. Listen carefully. It's the what and the why. The what is very easy because it's open book, isn't it? So you'll be able to find the information to be able to tell me everything you know about that keyword. But don't stop there or you're only going to get half credit. Why is this important? And this is where it's your own filtration system, if you will. It's your own information because you're going to tie it into what you've learned in this whole week, this whole few weeks. How did this tie into the grasp information that you've learned? How does it tie into the comparisons? How does it tie into other things we've looked at in the last 8 weeks? That is the biggest, most important part of it because the what is really easy once you've learned it. But how it ties into importance, why the heck is it important to learn? That's where it becomes interesting and important. Okay? You got that? So always there's going to be, I'm going to expect to see with the keywords 2 paragraphs. And we're talking paragraphs here, not a sentence. Paragraph on the what and the why. Yeah? And then you go on to the other ones. Then there's going to be multiple choice stuff. You know how multiple choice goes. Don't worry about that too much. It's only a point here and there. Those points, the biggest amount of the test is going to be in your writing of the keywords and then the focus questions. All right. So when you get to the focus questions, here's a big pointer for you. So please listen carefully. You already did those keywords, didn't you? You already have all those really important concepts written down and in the top of your mind and written there. Now use those in those exam questions. All right. So if there's an opportunity and you're talking and you're exploring one of the things in your own words and your own views and your own ideas, if you have the opportunity to bring in those keywords, it'll make me so happy. You can even bold them so I can really see it clearly that it's there. Fantastic. That'll be awesome. You don't have to go in crazy detail. You don't have to cut and paste or like do your whole focus words, the keywords inside there, right? It's just whatever, a little bit of information to show that you're using that in those questions will be really, really good. All right. The other thing is, if you have ideas that you're coming from the textbook, put a little parentheses and page number. All right. That's all you need to do for a bit of a citation, but that helps get you in the habit of citing that stuff from a book. All right. Or if you want to use my lectures, just put parentheses, what lecture it's from. Okay. That gives you in that habit of that. So that'll be the biggest thing. So for the focus questions, right? 2 paragraphs, what and why. That's going to be for each one of those. And when we get to those longer questions, some of them, right, are going to be a paragraph or 2, and then some of the ones towards the end are going to be longer. And there's an extra credit one, I believe, so that's going to be longer. Whatever it might be, I believe it's extra credit, but I might have changed that. But make sure that the longer questions are really full, packed with information. Give yourself a bunch of examples. Try to always do 3 examples if you can, and that's going to really get the most points out of this. I have had people get 100 out of 100 on this, so you could do it. And if you've kind of been struggling on other assignments, this will give that chance to really pop that grade up. So I really want you to do well. If everyone in the class got an A on it, that's okay with me. It's not graded on the curve or anything like that. It's completely geared for you to learn everything that you've learned in these last few weeks, to apply that and to rock it, taking out all test anxiety. Okay. So that's the biggest things I could say about this exam. Now, if you have questions about that or concerns, tomorrow's Thursday, we have Friday. So feel free to email me in your morning so that we could schedule a time to have a chat in that morning time. So earlier in your morning, the better, or even the night before, if we could solidify a time. Pretty much anywhere but before noon your time, because then it starts getting after 8 my time. So it's kind of nice to keep it before noon your time if we can, so that we could do that. Now, if you work on this over the next few days and on the weekend, and if you want to be able to talk on Monday or Tuesday to just think about some ideas, let me know and I'll be available then as well, all the way up to Thursday. So please, there's a few of you that have taken advantage of meeting me one-on-one with a video. If you want to do that, if you want to do that, please know I'm here. So that's another thing to help alleviate any of the stress. If you start to find the anxieties coming up with test anxiety, throw that aside, throw me a message, and remember that you have complete time to do it if you start now. Okay? So there's a couple other things. So let me show you this. If you go down, and this is your whole class, look at that. You should be so proud. You have done so much. There's so many weeks there of information. Use all your discussions that you wrote, right? So all those are going to help you with the exam. Use on the weeks. You'll see at the end of the week, there's the chapter 2 wiki terms that I have made. Yeah. And I've made, at the end of different ones, little videos that'll help you get those together. So feel free to use that if you want to make sure you have that. Use the main thing is your discussions. Don't worry about trying to go through all your quizzes, because you'll have the questions there and you have your textbook, so you could work that out yourself. And the idea of that is to just get the wheels turning, right? So if you do the work of looking up a question for a multiple choice question, that helps sort of get the mind going, thinking about it. And then when it comes to the focus questions, when it comes to those key terms, it's fresh in your mind. So it might seem silly that I'm doing that in open book, but it's kind of a brain exercise to get you going and sort of a warm-up, a mental stretch, to allow for you to prepare for those focus questions. Okay? So the other thing to help you with that, please watch my final video here. There's the final right there. So do May 14th, the last day of class. Also, you will have a final closing discussion. So that's kind of to sum up the class, what you liked about it, to talk to your small group, sort of final ideas before we're completely done. But also, please, and this is for everybody, not just in the small groups, but you have a collaborative part right here. So I always encourage you to help each other out. If you're rocking this class, if you've been getting A's on everything and you've been writing everything out and you've really doing a good job on it, you know that there's people in your small group and in this class that have been struggling, and so it's good to help each other. Or maybe you're struggling and you could sort of see someone else that's struggling and work together to help build each other up. This is an opportunity through here to do that a little bit. So, to talk to each other, if you have ideas, bounce ideas off. Now, remember that writing is your own words and your own ideas. So don't try to put in information in this exam collaborative chat here, and then everyone cut and paste the same answer. That's going to be no good, and it's going to be a lot of zeros. But if you can put if you could sort of help each other out and just use this, to make sure you're supporting each other, that could be a useful tool for you. And it's up to you. There's not mandatory, but go in there, say a few words to each other, and create that space, kind of keep each other accountable. So that's a good thing right there. When you get into the exam, okay, now you'll be able to see there's keywords, there's short questions, and there's focus questions, okay? Now, I'm going to look at this a little carefully and make sure it's all set up. I think it is. I just worked on it. But we'll make sure that it's all there so that it's very easy for you to preview it, to look at it. Now, when you press submit, don't do that until the last day. You can always do it again. The problem is it gets hard to grade because they'll have 2 or 3 different versions, and I might miss some of them. So if you could just submit this once and make sure all the information's on there, that is going to be the best, because it's going to assure that everything's on the right page and right there and easy to find. Okay? So again, writing it all in Word document, right? Writing the questions, writing the exams. So you'll see here, there's going to be multiple choice. There's choosing ones. There's a number one. Here's your first writing question in there. So you're going to be able to look at this. Just highlight the question and copy it and paste it onto a Word document. And then you could do that for each of the writing ones. There's a few more down here. There's some multiple choice, gets it going. Check out my videos. That helps you along the way. And let's see if we can get to another writing one. You can cut and paste. Here's another one. Cut and paste that. And that way you'll make sure you understand that you're using the right keywords, that you're putting all the information in, you're having the right paragraph formats, you're having it very clear and beautiful, and then you just cut and paste it, reformat it on here, and then you'll be able to turn it all in at once on Thursday. Okay? So hopefully that takes away the anxiety. Hopefully that starts stimulating some excitement. Yeah, because it is exciting. You're done with the class. 19 weeks packed into 8. All this stuff are things that I teach at University of Exeter with students here. And you're doing it at Shasta College. And this will prepare you for any type of class in humanities or whatever when you're having to get information and pack together and explain it. All right, so not everyone, 99% of you are not history majors, although I hope maybe a few of you will switch to the dark side of history. But even if you're not a history major, the tools you're learning here, how to skim reading and get the most out of the reading without having to read and be overwhelmed by every page, that's something that's going to be able to take from this. How to organize your ideas in a concise thought for a couple paragraphs, bring in 3 examples, and thinking and using your own ideas and your own background and your own worldview and explaining that in a historical setting. Those are skills that you'll be able to take to any class and in life. So, all these things that you've learned and you've really honed in on for the last 8 weeks gets to come together with this one assignment, which is this final. So I'm really excited to see the end result next Thursday. In the meantime, email me with questions, any comments, any concerns at all. Use that chat room to collaborate and work with each other and have fun and have this be maybe your first exam where you're actually excited to take it rather than overwhelmed and anxiety ridden. Okay, so good luck with that. It is now posted. Good luck and finish this class so strong, and we'll be in touch.